a screwball, a curveball, a rise ball, a changeup, and a drop. The pitch with the most command, though, is that fastball. Expect to see her down in the zone to get the strikeout. But I've called her effectively wild this week. She misses in the dirt, she misses up high, but comes right back into the zone for the strikeout.
That one low for a ball. Looking at Erica Figge. Up first here for Virginia. Daughter of the manager, Bill Figge. Not a bad special talent to have, the 1-0. One is low, 2-0. Figge has had a terrific World Series so far. She actually started the week 4 for 4. And yeah, hot diggity, let's go Figge.
The signs have been one of the high points here. These fans definitely trying to cheer on any way they can.
In there for a strike. She's got 3 stolen bases that she had on Thursday against Arizona too. So there's a reason E-Dog is batting in the leadoff.
Yeah, she loves to compete, and at the top of the lineup, she's trying to set the tone for this Virginia squad. That screwball, just a little bit down in the zone, but I like her using this pitch against the lefty, knowing that Figge's really quick. Right now, 4 for 4. Check that out. 4 runs, and you talked about the stolen bases. She's dangerous at the top if Virginia can get her on.
Yeah, you almost have to make her a hitter here to just keep her off the base pass. You certainly don't want to put her on with a walk, and here we are at 3-2. Both of these teams' margin for error fairly slim. Virginia scored 8 runs in their first 2 games. That off speed, Figge, it's catch, short. We're off to a good start with a web gem.
Matt, these games today have been so good, and here we go with another web gem over there at short. Rosillo comes away with the hops and the grab. Great leather over there for the first out. And in the circle, you gain so much confidence. Seeing your defense playing behind you like this, what a great start for Texas.
That snow cone is free of charge.
Does she get to put syrup on it across the street?
I need to go take that glove across the street with that softball. It's a hot one here in Greenville. What a great play to start us off here.
Ooh, and that pitch down in the zone. If that pitch is going to be a strike, I would suggest Van Zee stay right there with it. It's hard to lift that one into the outfield.
Aislinn Bossler. Looks at a called strike 2.
Early in a game, a pitcher is trying to extend the zone, see where the umpire is going to be giving the strikes and the balls, and each umpire has their own unique zone. So this one we're seeing very low.
Dan Wheeler, the home plate umpire, rings her up for strike 3.
That is a tough set of pitches. Down and in for strike 1, down for strike 2, and then extends the zone away for strike 3. 3 consecutive pitches, never got the bat off of her shoulder. Van Zee is really dealing in the circle.
Rare to see that. 3 consecutive strikes with no swings, bat on the shoulder, and now it's up to Kaylee Mitchell here to get something going. So what do you make of the strike zone here?
So you're seeing a strike zone. Not only is it very low, but it's extended on the outside corner for most of these hitters. And so as a hitter, you need toes on the line, but move up in the box and catch that ball before it drops.
You wonder if the fans are going to play any role in this as well.
They were fired up before the game started. It was loud for Chesterfield Little League, and I can expect this one to stay rowdy.
Swing and a miss.
And Matt, if they're going to get this call on the outside corner, they need to make an adjustment in the box because it's going to be tough to reach that standing in the middle. But look at that, a great adjustment by Mitchell, getting those her toes on the line to be able to reach across the dish.
Speed misses.
One of the best qualities of Van Zee in the circle is you never see her emotions change. Constantly stoic there in the circle, no matter how it's going.
She's got 12 strikeouts through 12 innings of work, and already 1 strikeout here in the first. You don't know if she's just given up a home run or struck out the side. You'd never know from looking at Raylan Van Zee. The 3-2.
And that's a great battle by Mitchell to be able to foul that one off. We've noticed her toes are on the line, so that inside pitch is going to get on her really quick. Van Zee thrown in the mid-50s. So you have to get the barrel out in front, but you have to be aware of that changeup that she trusts as well.
Ground ball. Rocio, out of her glove. Got to be quick. She's in there. Just that extra little bobble cost them the out, and we got a 2-out alley, perhaps.
And that is a sharply hit ground ball. She barrels this one up, hits it hard at the shortstop. Rocio can't put a fork in it. It's a strong throw, but too fast down the line. And now Virginia with their first base runner.
Count at E6 there after a great play to lead off the game for Alexi Rocio. Now a 2-out single for Kaylee Mitchell. That brings up Jasmine Miller. Looks at a first strike.
Miller, a very dangerous hitter up to the plate right now. What's her favorite thing to do? Just hit home runs. After this season, or after these next couple of games, her family's moving to Nairobi. So her family has stayed behind to allow her to finish out this All-Star season.
She's moved a handful of times. Her father in the U.S. Army. His last tour of duty at the U.S. Embassy in Kenya. She's lived in Maryland, Alaska, Washington, Louisiana, and now Virginia. 2-2.
Yeah, she talked about how that move, she's excited to play rugby. They don't have softball or baseball there. It's not a super popular sport, but look at all of the moves that she's made. But moving to Kenya after this run at the Little League World Series is over.
I like that she's already planning on what she wants to do. I'm excited to try rugby. Doesn't know anyone, hasn't met anyone there yet. That went into dirt 3-2. Just life's what you make of it. You deal with the circumstances of life. She's moved a bunch, made friends everywhere, and it looks like she's going to make new friends when she moves overseas.
Yeah, Dad Scott and Mom Jennifer definitely have a gem in this one.
Jazzy looking at 3-2 off her foot. No, I didn't just give her that nickname. That is her nickname. I'm not just coming up with these. We go off the questionnaires. Third full count for Raylan Van Zee. Smacked up the middle for a base hit. Kaylee Mitchell rounding second, hesitated a little bit, throw coming in, and she is out. Mitchell hesitated a little bit around second, and you can see Coach Figge perhaps talking about that hesitation. We'll get another look coming up.
Yeah, Kaylee Mitchell, a little hesitation around second base is picked up by the center fielder, Tate. Great throw to Robinson, who applies the tag, gets him out of the inning, and nobody hurt. We're scoreless.
5 runs scored here in a couple of games, but at this level, this tournament, you see a lot of great pitching, and that's what we have seen from Jenna Kiefer. 14 Ks. She led off this Little League Softball World Series on Wednesday. The very first game, 14 Ks.
Yeah, she set the tone for what we would expect to see from her in the circle. And while she did not throw their second game, Kaylee Hodges got the nod in that one. We get back to Jenna Kiefer in this one. And I think it's a great idea to throw her against this Texas team. Texas is known to want to hit the long ball. So are they going to be able to step in and capitalize off of a great first inning that Virginia had with the bats?
And a typo earlier, Raylan Van Zee is 1-1 in the circle. And of course, Jenna Kiefer 1-0 in the circle with that big one. But how about this big drive here from Rocio? That's deep to left center field. Gone! And she'll give a high five to her dad as she rounds third, or a low five.
So how do you set a tone early in a game? Oh, just hit a little dinger, and that was no little dinger. She got all of that one. They call her Rolex because how Lex goes, they roll. And in that one, that was a no-doubter off the bat. Look at that, head still, inner legs, barrel behind the ball, and just drives it deep. Shortstop Walter knows that you can't defend the home run. And so she heard about Jenna Kiefer. She said, 14 strikeouts, let's start racking up the runs.
The first earned run given up by Virginia pitching is a leadoff home run here in the bottom of the first by Lexi Rocio. And this might be just a little bit of a different challenge here for Miss Kiefer, and the Texas bats might be getting hot at just the right time. That one goes foul. You see some great moments here, and you couldn't help but notice as Rocio blasts that home run, her father, the coach, standing there at third base and just jumping for joy. Almost came all the way down to home plate.
Screaming, let's go! I mean, the emotion that you feel as a parent. There's so much anxiety when your kid steps in the box, but then to be the manager as well.
Fancio! Nice catch there by Walter! We've seen a couple of good plays made it short. One for Texas and one for Virginia.
Matt, we are in for a treat today. Holy cow, defense is doing great over there at shortstop. Great catch by Walter, coming away with that one. Cammie, she's got a snow cone of her own, and the first out of this inning. Great defense for Virginia.
Hot defense, staying cool with snow cones here today. All that's good. They're hitting the ball. That's 3 good swings they've put. A foul ball, a home run, a line shot.
It comes down to timely hitting. Well, right now it looks like Texas has warmed up their bats in their first 2 games, and they are ready to play.
Addison Young's got 4 hits here in this World Series, hitting .667.
She was a perfect 2 for 2 in their game against New York. They won 2-0. You know, they lost to Missouri in their opener, and they have a little bit of revenge coming back as they head into hopefully bracket play.
Ground ball here to Walter. Up with it. Good stretch there by Hodges for the second out.
So there are 5 teams in each pool, 5 in the Jessica Mendoza pool, 5 in the Jenny Finch pool. We are now seeing these 2 teams out of the Jenny Finch pool, while Texas came in as the number 2 seed because we got 2 teams from each of our regionals. They're facing the number 1 seed out of the Southeast in Virginia.
And a good hack there from Peyton Richards, fouled away. Like the Master P nickname there. Just gonna try and make him say, oh, sorry, that's just me quoting a Master P song. It's just, it failed, it was terrible. Our stats guy, John Tobias, is just mocking me as he's watching me, giving me sarcastic thumbs up. Richards fouls that one away.
I'll try to save you, Matt. So Peyton Richards, while that might have been a play-by-play's nightmare in a joke, she is a pitcher's nightmare when she steps in the box.
Select the Marconi here as we, or the Emmy as we go to break. The 0-2 to Peyton Richards. Just misses the Texas crowd. Saying, come on, they're all strikes. Or the Virginia crowd, they're all strikes, aren't they?
Well, and the thing that might have thrown the umpire off on that one was the catcher was calling for it high and the ball came in low. We know that the strike zone has been called low, but perhaps his eye was pulled up because he expected it to be up in the zone.
Off the scoop, Virouette gonna have to be quick with it. In there. Just that little extra bobble. We've seen it a couple times here today. Richards is on.
Matt, these hitters are barreling up all of these balls, and that is a tough shot over there at third base for Isabella Virouette. Hit her right in the stomach, but kudos to her. She kept it in front, rebounded quickly, picked it up bare hand, slinged it across the diamond. That was a close play over there at first, but she didn't get any leather on it, and it hit her right in the tummy.
And they're checking on it, checking on her to make sure she's okay. And it looks like Bill Figge is going to challenge perhaps that play at first. Insult to injury, an error is charged to the third baseman, Isabella Virouette. But we'll see if the error is negated on the review. Let's look at it here at first.
Well, and Matt, I don't know if I would challenge a play this early. While it was close, I think she really was safe over there at first base. I think she beats this one out. But remember, they only get 2 challenges or they only get an opportunity to challenge twice. If they are incorrect, they don't get it back.
2 unsuccessful challenges, and this looks like it'll be their first unsuccessful challenge. Not a great angle there, but you could tell. Here's your better look, and that foot. It's pretty clear there by a step. And they're still looking at Virouette at third, kind of wiping her eyes there, and you could tell it was Jenna Kiefer, the pitcher. She knows her friend and her teammate. She went right over to her, could tell it kind of maybe took the wind out of her a little bit, that hot shot to the chest, as the play will stand.
And that's what you got to do. Even though that was sharply hit, she took off out of the box, and that's what got her the safe call over there at first, was because of how hard she ran down the line. She did not give up, even though she hit it right at a defender.
Now you got to be careful here. Isabel Mathis hitting 400 this week. A couple of hits, run batted in, that one off the catcher.
In her opener against Missouri, she was hitless, went 0 for 2 in that one, but came back strong against New York in that 2-0 win, went 2 for 3.
Fan of Texas A&M softball, wants to be a criminal defense lawyer. Not sure how many criminal defense lawyers have the nickname Ladybug. But we'll take it, 0-1. That one inside, and a good stop there by Bossler.
Well, Mathis is the hitter that knows the zone the best out of any of these Texas hitters. She's the catcher back there behind the dish. She's seen that low and away pitch has been called, so she knows she's going to have to swing at that one.
That one is there for a strike, 1-2.
So while early in at bat, you like to pick a side of the plate to attack, now with 2 strikes, you've just got to open up your zone, shorten up, and make contact, keep this inning alive.
That one is high, 2-2. You know, Raylan Van Zee battled through that first inning, fired in 23 pitches for Texas. Jenna's given up a run here, but just on pitch number 15 coming up. That home run will do it.
Definitely, and it was so early in the count to the leadoff batter, Lexi Rosillo.
That one is right there on the inside corner for a strike. Much needed there, but little roly here for Texas.
Great piece of hitting. Defense to Rosillo coming away, and the bomb gives Texas the lead.
Let's go, girls, see ya!
Matt Schick along with Jenny Dalton-Hill. Great first inning. Saw some good defense, saw some good pop in the bat. And we'll see what Raylan Van Zee can do here in the second inning, nursing a 1-0 lead. They've had leads before. In fact, they've had leads in every game they've played. They were up 3-0 against Missouri, wound up losing that game 5-3. Took a 2-0 lead yesterday against New York, wound up holding on 2-0 there. Now a 1-0 lead for Van Zee. Kaylee Hodges standing in there, looking at a strike. Home Alone comes up a lot here for these players, for their favorite movie. That's comforting. Doesn't make me feel as old. That one popped up. Van Zee's got it. 2 pitches, 1 out.
I'm glad she caught that. We didn't have to discuss your age. But when it comes to being calm, cool, and collected like Kevin McAllister, I'm going to say Van Zee in the circle does a really good job of just keeping her wits about her, even when things go south.
Like what you did there.
Right.
I applaud it.
I'm all about the segue.
What are you going to do with football?
Football? It's coming up this fall.
That's great. Couple weeks away. Good job. Company person right there. Week 0 begins 2 weeks from today. Nebraska and Illinois, your first game on the docket.
Lots of scrimmages going on today.
Yep.
Full pads.
NFL, yeah. Cami Walter squares to bunt. She's out of the box quick. And a foul ball. No, it hit her out of the box. It hit her out of the box, and the first base coach does not recognize it. They're giving a high five there to Walter. The ump made a very quick call that she's out. Walter can't believe it.
I did not see it hit her out of the box. Matt, honestly, I don't know that she felt it either. So out in front, I don't see it hit her. I don't see the touch. And so this would be something I would challenge.
So he's already challenged one play. I'm hoping, I bet you he's hoping he doesn't have to challenge here. Can you go talk to the umpires here, especially that first base umpire?
Yes, and that's what they're doing. They're going and talking to the other umpires, especially those that were not involved in the play down the line, right? The first base umpire would have something else to be looking at. However, those other umpires may have had a better angle.
Here's the issue here, though. The home plate umpire called the play dead.
Yeah.
So he calls it dead. The play is dead.
So what would happen is she'd have to come back to the box, and it would be a strike. And remember, Matt, these are volunteer umpires. I want to make sure that the audience at home understands you are not looking at major league umpires. While that may be their goal one day, that is not what we're dealing with here at the Little League World Series. These gentlemen are all donating their time to be here to represent these young athletes.
And you know when Hodges comes back or Walter comes back, she's saying something to the coach, saying that didn't happen.
Yeah, and so the head coach for Virginia, Bill Figge, is going to come out and have a conversation. It looks like they'll challenge it.
Again, you get 2 unsuccessful challenges, so this would be the last one if it's unsuccessful, but it appears if this is a challengeable play, we have the list in front of us, I believe that's challengeable.
Quick reading, Matt, let's go.
Yeah.
But what we've found is if a coach challenges a play that is not reviewable, they just come back and let him know, hey, that's not a reviewable play. We've had that on obstruction. Obstruction is not a reviewable play. This, however, being touched by the ball out of the box, I believe is a reviewable play.
Bill Figge had a runner out at third, and now they're saying this is not. catch all the excitement from the Little League Baseball and Softball World Series tournaments, visit the first ever virtual fan zone experience. Visit littleleague.org/fanzone. Hope we get all the fans back in attendance next year on the back end of this pandemic. Of course, a lot of precautions being taken this year, but still great to have some families able to watch their kids. There's nothing worse, really, in all reality, of being able to have your kid playing an event like this and not being able to watch.
I think the world agrees with you as we watch the Olympics with empty stands.
Yeah. A lot of instances throughout the pandemic of parents having to drop their kids off to sporting events and watch from the car or watch online, and just all the things that, these are all first world problems, and you get it, but it's still going to be great to have everyone back.
Well, and let's take that a step further. It also impacted a lot of recruiting opportunities because coaches couldn't be there watching, and so they were watching online as well. Well, you can't get as good a feel from an online live stream as you can as sitting there in person, taking advantage of the energy.
Madison Williams to short. Walter up with it, and a good throw there for out number one.
Now, one thing you're noticing in this one, Matt, it is not a pitcher's duel. There is a ton of bats swinging through these balls, getting a great approach. Both of these teams very well coached. Their mechanics, as they sit back and drive through, doing a really good job of staying right on the zone.
Reese Tate, who turned 13 yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday to the Tater, right? That's not her nickname. I apologize.
No, it is.
That is her nickname, right?
Yeah,
okay.
oh, yeah.
That's what I call my little friend back home, Tater, and he loves to hit dingers, so he calls himself the dinger swinger. So,
my daughter's name is Tate. We call her Tater Tot, Tatey Tot, all those things. 0-2 here to Tate.
An all-around athlete, volleyball player, basketball player, track participant as well. So very athletic as she stands in the box.
And again, a fan of Home Alone. Swing and a miss. Lonely trip back to the dugout. 2 down, second K for Kiefer.
Yeah, I tell you what, when it comes to setting pitches up, Kiefer doing a really good job.
She hit that mitt right where she put it.
Absolutely perfect, and that's been what we've noticed about Kiefer. Very good at hitting her spots, very good at painting corners, and that's what you need to do as a pitcher. We've also seen a really nice changeup come out of her hand as well, so as a hitter, you've got to make sure that you're staying in your legs and not getting out on that front side.
Teach that in baseball and softball. Give them a target. Give them that glove. Open that glove. Give them that target. And for the pitcher, just throw it to the play catch.
Well, and as she gets better, that target's going to need to go away because the dugout will start communicating that to the batter.
That one is high.
Not like the Astros, that's not what I mean, but it's going to start being communicated based on where a catcher's setting up. So as she gets better, the catcher will set up in a neutral slot, and she's going to have to envision or throw to a shoulder, throw to a knee of a catcher rather than to the glove.
We'll listen to trash can noises today. See if we hear anything. Swing and a miss.
And we've also seen a lot of hitters with a split grip in this World Series. Here in this one, Brinley Robinson, another split grip swinger. We see that it gives a little bit more barrel control, but some big hitters like to split the grip to feel the whip of the action or of the barrel coming through.
You swing the bat there, and now it's 2-2. Bren trying to get something going here. That one, I'm guessing slipped just a touch.
Let's go back to the rosin on that one. But the good news is it didn't hit her. I thought maybe that one was going to go and hit the hip of Brinley Robinson, but it goes behind her. Nobody's on base. No, nothing hurt. Just takes the count to full.
First full count for Jenna Kiefer. Robinson got under that one a little bit. That's going to go high and deep and foul. Robinson, a fan of Bubba Nichols, one of the great college softball names. Played for UCLA, Team USA as well, won the silver.
And what a great role model. Brinley Robinson did hit her first over the offense home run this season. I'm sure right now in a 3-2 count, she's shortened up, but she's got the power to be able to drive it out of the park here too.
Calls for time. Sizes it up. Drills that one to short, but again, Walter just a vacuum cleaner out there at shortstop. And a 1-2-3 inning for Virginia and Kiefer.
Great defense, keeping this one tight.
Not because she carries around breath mints, but because she's tiny.
Hey, fresh breath is important too, but that is not the nickname.
One of the hardest working players on the team, according to Coach Figge. To third, there's the aforementioned Robinson with a nice play.
Love over there at third base stays low on this one. Really good job picking it out of the dirt, and check out the strength of her arm as she throws across the diamond. Really good play, making it look easy. I'm always impressed by the hot corner over there at third, coming away with those sharply hit balls, and another out.
That is a tough position in this sport. You just have to be ready, because if it's coming your way, it's coming in hot.
Yeah, I played with a third baseman at Arizona who would just absolutely swell up my hand with how hard she threw. And I'm like, if you were any closer, I don't know that I could catch that ball. That's the kind of arm that Brindley Robinson has over there at third.
Isabella Virouette, a little confused on that one, 1-2.
But what both of these teams are knowing or understanding at this point is the strike zone is very low in this game. A ball up above the belt has not been called a strike consistently, but that ball down in the zone, definitely one you have to swing at.
That one is fouled back. Sorry, it was 1-1, now 1-2. She can put a bunt down, and she can put it out to the outfield. Coach Figge hoping she gets hot here in this regional, or in this World Series. Did have a double here so far this week. Had some game-winning defensive plays against North Carolina and Georgia to get runners out at first base in regional play. That one a little low.
And we talked to a lot of these players, or read in their questionnaires about what their superstitions are when they play, and Isabella says she never unties her cleats. Well, here she is in a brand new pair of cleats that was given to her as she got here at the World Series.
And those cleats will be used to walk to the dugout. A little puzzled there, but again, this strike zone, it's been fairly consistent so far.
It has been. It may not be a pitch that you like, but if it's being called, you have to swing at it with 2 strikes. So that's the key, knowing what is being called. And right now, that pitch just at the knee on the front side is getting called. You have to figure out, when are you going to swing at it? Wait till you have 2 strikes or attack it early. You will see it in every single at-bat.
Erica Figge puts that one down. Robinson wisely letting that one go foul. Matchik along with Jenny Dalton-Hill, 3-time Women's College World Series champion at Arizona, former Triple Crown winner as well, here in the booth.
So Matt, here's how you attack that pitch. In this situation, you know that the low ball is going to get called, so you've got to move up in the box to make that pitch a little bit higher. It falls off the table, but it doesn't do so until it gets to the plate. So move up in the box and take that pitch away from Van Zee. You notice that pitch up in the zone is not being called. So you can train your eye to know that I can lay off that pitch at the belt, but I have to get the bat off my shoulder on that pitch at my knees. But to attack it, you've got to move up in the box. Right now, she's sitting very even in the box. To attack it, she needs to move up.
She attacks that one to left, a little slapper to the outfield, and she's on with a 2-out single. Good piece of hitting.
And Van Zee, while she knows that pitch down in the zone is going to get called a strike, this one gets left up about belt high, right in Figge's wheelhouse, able to keep her hands inside this one and push it in that 5-6 hole. You notice that Rosillo is pulled over towards second base. It's a large hole in that 5-6 area, so it's a great spot to push these balls.
Erica Figge likes to run, and she's off. Throw there a little off. And she gets in there with a stolen base. She had 3 stolen bases on Thursday against Arizona. And that'll be her 4th of the series.
Yeah, and Isabel Mathis back there behind the plate, a really good catcher, got that throw off well, but was just to the opposite side of second base, and so another stolen base for Figgy.
She has scored 4 of Virginia's 8 runs as well. Dangerous there, now she's going to be 60 feet away. Oh, how an inning that looks so innocent can lead to something. Nobody on with 2 outs. And then Figgy with a 2-strike single to left, a stolen base, and now a wild pitch, and Coach Edward Rosillo is going to have a conversation. Edward Rosillo, let's listen in.
Hey, we got 2 outs, okay? 2 outs, 1-1 count, okay? Hey, relax, okay? Don't overthrow nothing. Keep hitting your spots, okay? You got defense behind you. Let us work for you, okay? You just hit your spots. Let us work for you. Relax, deep breath. It's 2 outs, okay? Get us out of this inning. We got your back, okay? Okay, let's work. Thank you, sir.
Great advice by the manager, Edward Rosillo. Really good job of just letting his team know, hey, there's 2 outs. That runner that's 60 feet away from home plate means nothing as long as we get this out. Tells Van Zee to trust her defense, hit your spots, and that calm demeanor transfers into the circle.
Defense has made nearly every play they've had to so far through a couple of innings. Aislinn Bossler did not get the bat off her shoulders in her first at bat, caught looking. Here, 2-1. What are you looking for here if you're Bossler?
Well, you know that the ball is being called low in the zone, so that's the pitch you probably want to attack, but you have to make sure you pick a side of the plate.
Oh, hacked at that one. Had a good swing on it, 2-2.
Yeah, she was vulnerable in strike 3 on a strike down and away. So this time around, you know that that's sitting in her head. If I'm calling pitches, I would try to jam her up on this one, throw it down and in, give her a different look.
Coach Figgy says good enough is never good enough for Aislinn Bossler. That one outside, 3-2. Haley Mitchell, Jasmine Miller coming up here, the 3 and 4 hitters. Big pitch coming up here for Raylan Van Zee.
Big hack, big swing, could be big reward. They call her A1. She can be able to come away with an A1 hit right now.
4th full count for Raylan Van Zee. She's battled in and out of trouble. See if she can do it here. Bossler gets that one over the first baseman's head down the right field line. Figgy scores and a clutch 2-out, 2-strike hit for Aislinn Bossler.
Matt, what a response by this Virginia squad with their backs against the wall, a 1-run deficit, a huge hit by Aislinn Bossler. That down pitch has been a vulnerable spot for this Virginia squad, but with 2 outs, they're able to respond on the top of the order with Figgy coming around to score.
Like a pool cue, just had a little English on that one. That one gets by the catcher and into second base is Bossler. What a 2-out rally for Virginia. All started by Erica Figgy. Slapping a single the other way, a stolen base, then a wild pitch. And then Bossler able to put her home, and we're all even.
Big moment for Kaylee Mitchell. She says she hits with her dad, has a very powerful swing. They need it here.
Did she go? She did. 2-1, but where's the ball? What a heads-up play from Bossler.
And this ball was in the dirt, and it hit the throwing arm of Isabel Mathis. And you know when you get hit in just the right spot, it's kind of like a dead arm. You can't move it, and that's a vulnerable spot for any catcher. That's why you try to keep that arm back behind. but it snuck around as the ball was in the dirt. Both coaches on hand.
All right, let's see what happened here to Isabel Mathis.
And sometimes it can get up under the chest protector. So in the dirt, she does a good job of getting underneath it, but it's vulnerable right there in the side, under the glove arm, right in the ribs. Buckles her, but Bossler over there at first recognized that she could take advantage, or she was at second at the time, took advantage of that.
Watch Mathis here. It hits her right in the rib. She's going down. She knows it's not a dead ball. And watch her just, oh, I'm in pain, but wait, oh, shoot, there's a runner on second, and throws it to Van Zee as quickly as possible.
And that's actually Rosillo coming in. She came all the way from shortstop to cover home, not knowing how Mathis was going to be able to recover. I'm just walking this one off, hoping she's okay, get her a quick drink. You can't say enough for the resiliency and the grit that these players have shown this week. The ball is being hit harder probably than it has all year long during their Little League schedules.
The target here for get this third out. That one in the dirt. Look at Mathis.
Yeah, she's like, it's not getting by me. I'm a wall. That last one was a fluke. I want everybody to know it may hurt, but I've got this.
Coach Rosillo says she cheats because she's a wall. You're not allowed to have walls back there.
That's right.
At catcher, and she is. That one is ripped down the left field line. Bossler coming in to score, and it gets by the outfielder, Patterson. And standing up at second base is Kaylee Mitchell, and Virginia has a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, the bottom of the zone is where Van Zee has been most effective, but she is leaving pitches up belt high, and because of that, these Virginia hitters are taking advantage. Brinley Robinson over there at third cannot get up high enough to get that one, and so another run comes across, and now Virginia with the lead.
Oh, another opportunity here. So two have come across here in the third. Now Jasmine Miller. Again, all of this with 2 outs. Think about how this inning started. Just a ground out, a strikeout, then a 2-strike base hit by Figgy, a wild pitch, or stolen base, wild pitch, and then a 2-out single by Bossler. Advances on a wild pitch. Gets to third, and then Mitchell puts her home, and this inning's getting a little lengthy now.
Definitely is, and it was extended because of that injury, but it's the top of the lineup so successful. Single, single, and double, taking advantage of some pitches that have been to the backstop or a little bit uncharacteristically handled in the outfield. And so right now, just 1 out away of getting out of this inning, but Virginia does not want it to end, hoping that Miller can take advantage of another opportunity to score a run.
That one back up the box. Backhanded stop. No, in and out of the glove. Quick throw. And got her. Madison Young rebounds and gets the out. A long inning. An injury-riddled inning. Isabel Mathis toughing it out. But Virginia comes out at the top of the frame up 2-1.
Arizona.
It's a dry heat.
Sure.
That one off the plate. Oh, you want to let that roll foul? Ooh,
she
that
did.
Was close.
She
that was
got
close.
Lucky. Yeah, you definitely wanted not touch
She's
that
smiling.
one that close.
She's smiling.
Because the English on it was telling you that the spin was going to take this one further foul. Ooh, she is definitely lucky on that one. The home plate umpire on top of it.
Dirty Patterson waves at that one for a strike 3.
Beautiful changeup. Set her up well for that one. A lot of hard stuff early in the at-bat. And then that changeup on the outside corner. Ooh, that's a nasty pitch.
I tell you, Lexi Rosillo has the only hit in this game. for Texas. Since her hit, nothing doing. Maybe an error, but everyone else has been retired. A couple of Ks for Jenna Kiefer. She's certainly not a wimpy kid. She hit that. That one was a deep shot to left center, but Kiefer settled down. You got to give her credit. Gotten out of jams.
Well, I will say, though, while we haven't seen another recorded hit in the book, they were squaring her up in that first inning. I mean, absolutely tattooing the ball. She had some great plays at the shortstop position by Cammie Walter, but they were hitting her hard.
Yeah, 9 balls, 23 strikes. Is there something to being too accurate?
There is. That's kind of where Raylan Van Zee has the benefit. She's effectively wild. You can't really dig in on her because you don't know where it's coming and what speed it's coming at. Jenna Kiefer, very good at staying tight on the zone. So as a hitter, it always helped me to know that the ball was going to be close to the zone.
That one right there for a strike, 2-1.
I was actually talking to Madison Shipman in between our games. We're the night crew. They cover the two.
You talked to her?
I did. I love her, actually. When it comes down to it, these pitchers, we talked about Raylan Van Zee. We talked about how hard it is to hit off of a pitcher like Raylan Van Zee, who's the pitcher for Texas, because she is a little bit wild.
Inside corner, Rocio gives a look to the home plate umpire a little inquisitively, but it's been called all day.
That is an awesome spot to throw Rocio, because as a hitter, you can't do much with that other than foul it off. You can hit it hard and prove a point, but that's typically a foul ball if you connect with that one. Great spot.
Rocio set up inside. Kiefer gets her waving. Rocio running, thinking it might have been a drop third strike. It was not, and there are 2 away.
But that's actually the perfect response, knowing that you've been fooled on a changeup. Say, you know what, maybe it hit the dirt a little bit. So she takes off not knowing, force a throw in case it hit the dirt. Even if it doesn't, I love the aggression of Rocio, who's that leadoff batter, thinking, take advantage of an opportunity. I'm not going to look back, I'm just going to run.
I like Bossler, catcher, going, I caught it. I'm not throwing that one. I'm not even giving the umpire a inkling that I dropped that ball.
Most definitely.
Now Raylan Van Zee lined out to short. First time up, good play by Walter.
And we talk about adjustments a hitter can make in a zone that is down and away, being called a strike. So what you see Van Zee doing is those toes are on the line closest to the plate. But what that does is it changes your mental strike zone. So you have to take advantage of a pitch maybe a little bit further inside than what you typically see because your toes are closer to the plate.
As you're a pitcher, can you see where the batters line up? How does that impact where you're going to throw?
Well, the information needs to be communicated back to the dugout because we see both of these head coaches calling the pitches. So the coach needs to understand where the batter's standing to throw or call an effective game.
Yeah, the layman would say, oh, she's lined up on the toes are on the chalk, throw her inside.
Right. But when it comes down to it, you've got to set her up for that pitch. You can't just live on the inside because then she'll make an adjustment mid-swing. She'll step off the plate as you go into your motion. So it comes down to making the adjustment mentally, but communicating that information back to the dugout as a catcher so that the coach who's calling the pitches does it right.
A lot that good. It's not just pitching and hitting and just throw it. You know, there's so much game planning that goes into it, and the signals that come in and out, and the coaches that are reading what's going on in the field. It certainly is a team effort with every pitch. The 2-2 to Van Zee. Van Zee to third. Hot shot. That is off the glove of Virouette. No throw there from Walter. Well, Virginia began their rally with 2 outs. We'll see if Texas can do the same.
That's right. Last inning, we saw some hot shots come across after 2 outs. This one, hard shot down the line to Virouette. It's a ricochet over to the shortstop, Walter, but down the line a little too quick. Van Zee is safe.
That is ruled a base hit. That's the first base hit for Texas since the home run from Lexi Rocio. And now Addison Young at the plate. Madison Young, good eye at the plate, 667 her average here this week. Grounded out her last time up. That one inside and low, 1-1.
Yeah, of Addison Young, Coach Rosillo says she is the hardest worker on the team and calls her a coach's dream. So it's one of those things, hardest worker, always hustling, right now looking to take advantage. And what you see in a number 3 hitter is typically your most consistent hitter.
Addie waves at that one for a second strike.
Yeah, that curveball doing a really good job of continuing to find off the plate movement. So Kiefer, while she throws that drop, curve, and fastball, she's doing a really good job of with the drop keeping it low, but also the curveball taking it off the plate and extending the zone to the outside to the right-handed hitter.
Nice stop there from Bosler.
And that's that changeup. A little bit of a mix of speed. Let go of it a little bit too early, so it was down in the dirt, but a good job behind the plate by Bosler to keep that one in front, no advancement.
2-2 to Young. Young gets that one at will get down off the diving glove of Figgy. That's going to roll near the track. Rounding third will be Van Zee, and she will score. And into third base is Addison Young. We're tied at 2.
Hardest worker on the team. It pays off in a big way here for the number 3 hitter, Addison Young. That ball actually jams her up a little bit, has to fight it off, but gets her barrel to it, and the dive by Figgy out there in center. As the left fielder comes over, she doesn't take a deep enough angle to be able to back that up, so Mitchell has to chase it. Because of that, the throw in gets away from the infield, and Addison Young takes advantage. Ties this one up.
Check that as it's going to be scored as a double and an error in center. Or perhaps on the throw in. Error on the throw allowed another base for Young. So the error will be technically on the left fielder who came over to play center and back up. But now Peyton Richards with a chance to give Texas the lead.
Oh, that's such a beautiful pitch. That drop ball continues to impress me. Not only is she able to locate it, but she keeps it right down there, and she's got the perfect umpire back there today to be able to get that call consistently.
Peyton Richards will smash this ball anywhere you put it, according to her coach, Rosillo. They could use another here. That one in the eyes and high, 2-1.
And the home plate umpire, Dale Wheeler, has been behind the dish in previous games that we've had, Matt, and his zone is down. That drop ball is such a good pitch with Wheeler behind the plate.
We saw it from Virginia. A 2-out rally. Nobody on with 2 outs. They were able to plate a couple of runs. Texas plates one here. The second run 60 feet away. Two hits here in the inning for Texas. Nine straight batters without a hit after the home run from Rosillo. Now back-to-back hits for Texas. Richards looking for the third straight hit, but it will roll foul. That was smart play from Jenna Kiefer.
Yeah, heads-up play coming out of the circle, making sure that Virouette does not touch that one before it crosses the line. Because it looked like, oh, this might be a catchable ball at first, but then Virouette even called herself.
Yeah. I'm not doing it this time, don't worry.
But Matt, you called it. All of these runs have been scored with 2 outs.
26th pitch of the inning coming up to number 26. And Richards puts that one over the shortstop. That will plate another run, and the third run, the second run of the inning. And the third overall for Texas, and it comes again with 2 outs.
Yeah, the top of this lineup. Look at that smile. You cannot beat those moments. Peyton Richards comes away with a gem. As a lefty, you expect her to hit for power to the right side of the field, but she wasn't given a pitch on that side of the plate. Does a great job letting it travel, scores another run, and gives the lead to Texas.
Now Coach Figge is going to come out to talk to Jenna Kiefer. There had been some
speeds a little bit here, okay?
Here.
You've done awesome. You need your mask. All right, you've done awesome. You've done everything we've asked and more, okay? I'm gonna change the speeds up here a little bit, get them a little more.
Starter Jenna Kiefer, hey, we're gonna come back with something. We're gonna change a little bit of speed. And not only are they doing that, but they're changing the side of the pitcher that the ball's coming from. Figge a lefty.
That's to first. That's going to be a fair ball. Mathis rounds first. She's going to get to second. That ball is in the corner. And rounding third and scoring for Texas is Haven Hansen, the pinch runner. And Edward Rosillo saying, I was waving you the whole time. Don't hesitate, go.
Yeah,
and she went.
We've seen some of the moments where players are trying to watch the ball rather than pick up the lead coach as to what they need to do. This one, a ball on the outside corner, and as a first baseman, Hodges doesn't square up, doesn't get the shoulder around that one, and because of that, it glances off the shoulder and heads out down the field. Miller lets it get by her, another run scores, and an advancement all the way to third.
Abigail Sepulveda now, the pinch hitter. Haven Hansen pinch ran for Peyton Richards there at first, and that certainly paid off. We'll see if Sepulveda can do this again. All of this coming with 2 outs. We entered this inning 2-1 Virginia, nobody on, 2 outs. And now a chance for their 4th run of the inning and their 5th of the game.
But Matt, that's the danger of flipping the lineup. Typically, the top of the lineup has those potent bats. That's why they put them there, because their ability to produce a little bit greater sometimes than those hitters down in the 6, 7, 8 hole.
That one's foul.
And this change of speed is showing that they're having a little bit of a difficult time catching up, but especially off the bench. You've got this pinch hitter right now in Abigail Sepulveda stepping in, who has not hit off of a Virginia pitcher yet.
3 hits in the inning, 3 runs in the inning for Texas. Little slow roller of Sepulveda. And that will do it for out number 3. But damage is done, all with Texas. They're waving hello, and Coach Rosillo was waving them home that last inning, all with 2 outs.
Yeah, it was a big 3rd inning. You mentioned it, Matt, all with 2 outs. Huge hit, Addison Young, the double to score. Peyton Richards, the single, an amazing, then a ball, an error by the first baseman. Mathis plates another one. Matt, before this inning, Texas found themselves behind, but in this one, able to respawn with 3 runs and a 4-2 lead.
Texas looking for their 2nd win in pool play here, and all but lock up an opportunity to play in bracket play. Coming up on Monday. Virginia feeling pretty good about their chances as well. At 2-0 in pool play. And now down 4-2 here. Pool play will continue through tomorrow. Quarterfinals beginning on Monday, bracket style, 4 games Monday on ESPNU, ESPN News, ESPN2. We'll let you know. That's how it all goes. You see those 0-3 teams, going to be a real challenge for them to advance to bracket play. And Virginia sitting pretty. Oklahoma and Nevada go at it in our next game. And as good as this game is, we're expecting a lights-out contest tonight.
I can't lie, I was a little giddy when I looked at the schedule and realized we had the Oklahoma-Nevada matchup as the nightcap tonight. Those 2 teams have been playing so well. We've seen home runs, we've seen web gems, we've seen pitching performances that were absolutely masterful. But then this game comes out to lead us off tonight, Matt, and I don't know if it's going to be able to top this one.
Tiffany and Madison, they might have had the, the banana floats and the ice cream and the ices and the Kona ice and the barbecue today.
Right.
That's all water under the bridge.
Correct. Flush it. Move on. Because we've got an amazing softball game right here.
Food can go through you. 4-2. Terrible. Sepulveda is in right. Now for Texas. Haven Hansen enters the game in center field. She was the pinch runner. Last half inning, wound up scoring. And in left field for Texas is Corbin Stecker-Stroud. So Sepulveda comes in and makes a play.
I tell you what, Matt, it never ceases to amaze me that when you enter the game, the ball is going to find you. But it doesn't matter out there in right.
These young girls just make it look easy. These are not easy plays, especially at this age. Like, sure, put the mid up.
Yeah, I can't believe she made that play. Right? How does that not get dropped? Oh well, maybe the next time. Thanks.
Yeah, Abigail Sepulveda enters the game as a pinch hitter in the last inning and then stays in defensively. Ball finds her, makes the out. Routine. Awesome play out there in right.
Trista Davis now enters the game. And you'll see some, beginning around the fourth inning, usually see some subs in the lineup because of the mandatory play rule. Everyone gets at least one at bat. So you need to work everybody in. So Trista Davis loves to have fun with her teammates. Works hard. And gets a base hit. Good for her. Trista Davis getting ahead here in the Little League Softball World Series.
Yeah, Trista Davis comes away finding that 3-4 hole. And over there at second base, we've seen some great plays at second, but this one sharply hit, able to push it through. Her first hit in the World Series.
Savannah Wright now at the plate. And this is a Virginia team that likes to run on the base path, so we'll see what they do here. Trailing 4-2 in the fourth inning. Love the story about Trista Davis, who's now on first after the single from Coach Figge, saying she's just so energetic. She'll just go and get the bats with the helmet on, go retrieve the bats from the plate and come back and go, Coach, look at how I got those bats. Look at, like, she's just cheering herself out and full of energy and excitement. Just love seeing those kind of folks succeed in their, the opportunities might not be aplenty in a stage like this, but to be able to come through is great.
Well, and to be able to have that kind of just demeanor, that's going to carry her a long way. She owns her role and does it well, hustles out there, does a great job, and is rewarded with a base hit.
Swing, foul tip into the mitt, 1-2. Savannah Wright, 13 years old, stealing my hobby. Parents are both chemical engineers. She wants to be a trauma surgeon, so maybe she's just working on her sleep now because she might not get any later.
Yeah, definitely not. That's a long road, but we're grateful that she has that.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Little frustration there shown. And for Raylan Van Zee, that is strikeout number 3.
Yeah, we have not seen these hitters vulnerable to the rise ball because the strike zone has been down low. Matt?
Yeah, just want to make sure that we have milk back at the hotel. All right, thank you.
Milk?
Couldn't come up with anything
Milk?
there. I'm
Really?
sorry.
Milk?
I couldn't come up with anything.
It's hot, Matt.
Yeah,
When do
that's
you
true.
crave milk on a hot day?
Did you see the fist pump there, though?
Yeah.
Figgy's a fist pumper.
That's right.
Like, you see the signs there in the stands that the Virginia fans about. They want the Figgy fist pump.
Because it pumps you up. Like, it really is a cool fist pump. And right now, he's looking for an opportunity to use it.
Aislinn Long Now at the plate, 13 years old, Bailey Bridge Middle School. Mom Natasha was a college pitcher at Marshall. Also Kennesaw State. Throw down to first. Coach Figge's saying that they're practicing or in the bubble. Now for Texas, how about Corbin Stecker-Stroud? Puts that one down. Her first at-bat of the day, a leadoff single.
Yeah, was able to come into the game defensively, but then a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and let hitters see that. You don't have to swing as hard as you can. You just need to connect in the right spot. Erica Figge is dealing with some velocity, and so you as a hitter just need to connect. Does a really good job of letting it travel deep and start the inning off right for Texas.
Brenly Robinson now at the plate, grounded up her first time up. What's the challenge for a hitter going from someone like Kiefer a couple times through the lineup and now seeing Erica Figge?
Well, the key is you've got to look on the other side of her body. I know that sounds obvious, but at the same time, the break on the ball is going to be much different. To a righty, it's going to come into your hands, and a ball that's away, a screw ball, will just stay on the outside part of the plate. And so when you see a right-handed pitcher, you're used to the ball moving across the plate and away. Now the ball's going to be moving into your hands, so you have to make sure that you're ready to get the barrel out in front.
Brenly Robinson does just that. Is that going to drop? No, it will not. Runner needs to get back, and Stecker-Stroud does. But a nice play there, ranging to her right by Cammie Walter.
A lot of ground covered by Walter. Good first step, tracked that one down and recognized over there that Stecker-Stroud had a bit of a big lead. Tried to get the out, but Stecker-Stroud got back in time.
Tough base running there where, you know, if she drops it, you got to get to second base. If she catches it, you got to get back. So finding that happy medium on the base paths. Now Haven Hansen. Says her favorite food is spaghetti. I'm going to have a lot of friends on this team. That one is high, 1-1.
Not if you ask for milk on a hot day.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Likes to watch the movie A League of Their Own. I'm assuming she also believes there's no crying in softball.
Well, and Haven Hansen, as she steps in, she's probably the hottest hitter in this lineup. We did see a home run from Lexi Rocio to start this game off, but Haven Hansen's batting 1,000 in this tournament off the bench.
Hansen 3 for 3 this week. And she looks at strike two, we're full. Left Coach Rocio saying they say dynamite comes in small packages. That defines Haven Hansen to a T. The 12-year-old fouls that one up high off the net.
Okay, I'm going to bring this point up. I've seen it a couple times on the questionnaire in this World Series. Haven Hansen doesn't drink Gatorade, Matt. There's not a lot of people in my life that don't drink Gatorade, but she does love the concession stand. Okay. So
it's kind of speaking out of both sides of her mouth.
I think so, right?
Maybe those people drink milk.
Yeah.
On a hot day.
You found a fan.
Ranging to her right. Oh, and trying to make that catch was Vera wet. Just off her chest. One she'd like to have back.
Most definitely. You want to make sure in a situation like this that you turn the fingers over. She tries to basket catch it, not knowing if she's going to be able to have the distance to get there, but because she overruns that one just a little bit, hits off the heel, and it doesn't get caught.
So if Hansen can take advantage here, 3-2. Rocio ranging to his right, trying to make a play.
Wrong side. Good try, Coach.
You only get so many opportunities to make plays as coaches. You just need to go for it.
Well, but he was a player. He knows how to do this. He went down with his throwing hand, though. I don't think that makes sense.
Backhand, bare hand, you got high expectations. That one, a called strike 3. Good pitch from Figgy.
And for the first time this week, Hansen gets sat down as she comes off the bench. Beautiful changeup, outside corner, freezes Hansen. She can't believe it. Unfortunately, she's got to walk back to the dugout, but that's a great pitch by Figgy. Just leaves it on the outside corner, extends the zone, and gets the strikeout.
Lineup turned over here now. Top of the order, Lexi Rosillo has a home run to her name and now has another base hit, her second of the day. Straying off of second base. But Stecker Stroud gets her foot back in there. Now 2 on with 2 out. Good hit there from Rosillo.
Rosillo is so impressive at the plate. Doesn't try to do too much. Sometimes when you see a hitter get a home run in their first at bat, they try for that home run in every at bat after. But Stecker Stroud able to get back. A base hit for Rosillo, and this inning stays alive.
Texas with a 2-run lead. 2 on, 2 out. And number 22 at the plate. Van Zee singled and scored in the third.
Favorite athlete, Odyssey Alexander. I don't know how much of the World Series you watched, Matt, but that one play was enough to make a fan of a lot of people for life. Odyssey Alexander, so dynamic in the circle, a great role model for Van Zee.
Diving to make a play and tag a runner all in one motion on the way to home.
Oh, it was beautiful. Squeeze play on, saving the run, just an amazing play. Odyssey Alexander became everybody's favorite in that moment.
Plus you have a cool name. Cool name making a great play. What's better than that?
Right? You've talked, you want to make an all-name tournament
Right.
team.
Like, I mean, Jenny, right?
Yes, how dumb is that? Everybody from the 70s had that name.
Hey, Matt and Jenny here in the booth. Van Zee! Nice play there from Walter at short. She's done a good job there at short. Made a couple of catches, and they need more of that.
Yeah, Walter shown that she loves the line drive right at her. Comes away with another one, but Virginia needs a couple of runs. And ERA. Stolen bases for Nevada. They're going to put the pressure on the defense by using speed when they get on. But ERA, Oklahoma advantage. No earned runs given up in this one. So getting on base is going to be very difficult against Oklahoma pitching. But if Nevada is able to do it, they're going to use speed to push things around.
Cricket Kearns, Alexis Kearns drove in 7 runs the other day for Nevada. JoJo Corneal was good in the circle. Ava Koenig as well, off to an undefeated start. And Oklahoma, Goose Hutchins, get to know the name. Juliana Hutchins, nicknamed Goose. 5 hits, a home run as well.
What a hitter.
Again, good nickname, good name, good hit.
There you go.
Okay.
Jenny, bad name.
Somehow want to
Somehow
triple crown.
figured it out.
Madison Williams moves into right field for Texas. Jordan Jefferson now in the lineup here for Virginia. Tries to square. She went. You can see Robinson almost at home plate after that bunt. Charging there on the play.
And I think she pulled back. I think that was a called strike. It's that
Okay.
low strike in the zone that the home plate umpire Wheeler really likes.
Jordan Jefferson moved from Texas after her dad's last tour. Dad's in the military. Coach Figgy's saying, I wish I could have coached her longer.
Matt, notice that top hand. When she gets set up, it doesn't really grip the bat until she goes to the ball. And what that tells you is she's got some pretty loose fingers, which transfers into a loose grip, which then gives her a little bit more whip through her wrists. That top hand just sits and waits until she goes to the ball.
What's the advantage of that?
Well, it's kind of like when you are at a pool party and want to whip a towel and you want to hit somebody with that whip. If you've got a dry towel, it doesn't work as well as if you get it a little bit wet. Make sure that you get a little bit of play in that towel. That's what you want in those wrists. You want a little bit of whip, a little bit of play, and that loose grip gives those wrists a little bit better chance to whip through the ball.
Bringing back some terrible memories. Strikeout there. Pitch there from Van Zee. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Van Zee going back to last inning.
Yeah, Van Zee is figuring out that the bottom of the zone is where she needs to live. She keeps it away from these right-handed hitters, and a lot of these hitters that have come up here at the bottom of the order, that was the 4th hitter in a row that was coming off the bench, and so they're vulnerable to that pitch down and away.
Erica Figge. 5 hits this week. A devil on the base paths. I asked her, I said, what's it like having your coach, your dad as your coach? She said, I like it. He treats me like every other girl. He's my coach, my dad, helps me get better. And Coach Figge piped up and said, she's just trying to get allowance, a better allowance.
I wonder if it worked. And the thing that she was most excited for here at the World Series was not the competition or getting to see the other teams across the country. It was for instant replay. This is the first time these ladies not only have been able to see themselves on TV, but to use that instant replay, help themselves out on those close plays. I know I was always frustrated on a close play because you feel a certain way about it, but now you're able to be backed up by that instant replay that's available to them here at the World Series.
She qualified for an All-American game in Oklahoma. And it just so happened that game coincides with the Little League Softball World Series, so she's missing out on that, but not a bad trade-off. Those are good problems to have. Which All-American game, World Series, where should I go?
It's so hard to decide when you're this good where you want to showcase your talents, but when it comes to being able to represent your town, Chesterfield's grateful that she stayed home.
Southeast Regional champs from Chesterfield, and Figge looks at the outside corner, disagreeing with that call, but she'll head to the dugout 2 away.
Figge, I'm right there with you. That is a tough call to be able to get the bat off your shoulder. She's going to think about that one, but at the same time, she has trained all year long not to swing at that pitch. It is so hard to make an adjustment in game, knowing that that pitch is off the plate, but it's been called all game. You have to make an adjustment as a hitter to be able to be successful. Figge's going to have to swing at that one if she's able to get up again.
That's the first time she has struck out this week here in Greenville, and that's 4 straight strikeouts for Van Zee. They're seeing a 2-run lead, and Aislinn Bosler steps in. Seen multiple 2-out rallies here. See if Bosler can get it going again.
Yeah, Bosler, when you read her questionnaire, she says she is a self-proclaimed nerd. And I thought, you know what? Own it. I love that. But she's got a big swing that can do some big damage when she connects.
Just like that, that's going to drop just in front of the outstretched arms of Haven Hansen. Good effort from Hansen. That throw nearly got away there, but Bosler with a 2-out single.
And Bosler just missed the sweet part of her barrel. This one jammed her up just a little bit, but she is so strong, she's able to hit this one out in front of Hansen. That dive, that's legit. To be able to keep that ball in front, almost came away with a great catch. Haven Hansen might not have been the starter out there, but she is definitely a great center fielder.
Now Kaylee Mitchell, who's reached base both times she has been up. Normally wears a bucket hat. They had to keep that one at home this week. Could not wear that in the dugout. Throw down is safe. So fans have kind of turned that into a fundraiser as well.
Yep, it didn't have the Little League logo on it, so they didn't want it here at the World Series, so she had to leave that one at home. But the fans in the stands were like, wait a minute, I think we're onto something here.
Got the Chesterfield Little League logo on it. Might spot a few of those in the stands. Great support from both Texas and Virginia here today. Seen more fans as the tournament has gone on. Not everyone can stay for a full week. They come on maybe as the weekend hits, and here we are on a Saturday. And this is one of the larger crowds that we've seen with more family in town. Mitchell fouls that one away, 0-2.
Well, and Matt, this is a week and a half tournament. This is not just like a 4 or 5 day tournament. This tournament, well, I guess it's a week. It started on Wednesday and it ends the following Wednesday.
But they had to travel for regionals too.
Correct, and so both of these teams, there's a bucket hat or two out there in the crowd. But it comes down to making sure that you can find a way to support your kiddo, and luckily a lot of these games are going to be on the linear networks.
Throw down, gets away, and she's going to stay.
Yeah, so many of these athletes have talked about how cool it is that they're able to play on ESPN. So while these games are on ESPN+, those bracket play games that are coming at you in the next couple of days, they're on the linear networks, ESPN, ESPN2.
8 of the 10 teams will be able to play on those ESPN linear networks, and a squeeze there from Mathis. Sore ribs and all. Mathis squeezing that one on the foul tip. And how about 5 strikeouts in the last 6 batters?
Yeah, she is definitely dealing, and that catch by Mathis seals the deal.
It's been a great week. I don't know if it feels longer or shorter than 5 days. But next week we'll make it the whole week. How about that? How about Addison Young? Had a double in the 3rd, a single here in the 5th. And Texas looking for more with a 2-run lead.
Yeah, had a double in her last at bat to center, and this one, really good job. Muscling this one, finds the sweet spot of the bat. That 5-6 hole looked like the Grand Canyon. It was a big one. It was easy to squeak it through out there to left.
I've never visited the Grand Canyon. Was it that big?
It's really big.
Peyton Richards to center. And underneath it is right. 1 away. Isabel Mathis, remember earlier in the game, there was a stoppage in play for, it had to be 6 or 7 minutes, waiting for her to collect herself as she was playing catcher, as she has done since the beginning of the game in this whole tournament. Aylin Van Zee skipped one in there. She blocked it, but it went under her chest protector on the left-hand side. And you could tell there's a rib or something there, muscle that really got injured. And she has battled back, got a single her last time up. And touch and go there for a while. Didn't know if she'd be able to stay in, but she's a catcher. Check it out.
Well, and this pitch just on the left side, up under the glove. As a catcher, you want to make sure you block it up, and she has been doing such a good job. They call her a wall back behind the plate. The ball was still live when that ball hit her and bounced away.
Quick flip, looking for 2, not going to get it, but a nice play there from Walter. And you saw in that replay, we left it early to get to the play here, but Mathis flipped that ball to her shortstop, Rocio, who was running in because there was a runner on second who did advance to 3rd on the play. But you're in pain, and you still got to keep that ball alive.
Yeah, and Bossler, the player for Virginia, recognizing that the ball was just sitting in no man's land, advanced over there to be within 60 feet of scoring. And then you wonder, why are you getting a large enough lead where you're going to need to dive back?
That's a great point.
But you can't stop aggression. I mean, that's the thing. When you have a competitor like you do in Mathis over there at first base, she's trying to take advantage of with a big lead. But I like that throw back behind the dish from Bossler saying, go ahead, I'll make you dive again. Go ahead, challenge me.
Madison Williams. That one foul and out of play. Nicknamed Goose. Not too often you have 2 players nicknamed Goose in the same tournament. We've got Goose Hutchins playing later on today. Got some geese.
Got a gaggle out here tonight.
Wow,
when it comes to Goose, though, she named herself after Goose McGlon, a player at Baylor. Goose Hutchins of Oklahoma was named Goose by her father, the manager of that Oklahoma team.
You either love your parents who gave you that nickname or you resent them for life. There's really no in between. And her favorite movie is Footloose, so Goose likes Footloose. Nice pitch there from Figgy to get out number 3. Virginia needs at least 2 here in the 6th. Trying to avoid their first loss.
Let's play a game right here of knockout, okay? Drive the ball hard, swings. Let's find a way to get on base. Let's play a game of knockout. Let's see if we can get everybody a round of hits here, right?
Yeah.
Because what do we do? Hey. What do we do? Hey. Let's go, team on 3, right?
Yeah.
Because what do we do? Hey. What do we do? Hey. Let's go, team on 3, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Let's go. Have fun.
Bill Figgy, manager here for Virginia, is a chief academic officer at John Tyler Community College as well. Just helping people about reaching their aspirations, both at the college level and also here at the Little League level. Always keeping it positive. Sometimes that can be a challenge as a coach, especially with coaching girls this age, but he does a good job.
What are you trying to say? Girls this age don't know how to have fun?
Well,
I love that last-minute reminder, though. Have fun!
The gritting of teeth yelling, have fun.
Well, and what you didn't get to see was after the fact, he walked out and looked a little stressed. So definitely a tight moment as they sit at the top of the inning, 3 outs to try to even this one up and get the win.
Three 3-0 now. After 5 strikeouts in her previous 6 batters faced. Raylan Van Zee delivers a strike here to Jasmine Miller. Foul ball. I like Miller. One of her favorite moments growing up. Her brother and her were playing football in the street. All of them were scared to guard her, so said we won easily with a score of like 5 or more touchdowns. Tough player. Again, wants to play some rugby when she moves to Kenya, coming up after this tournament with her family. Her dad's in the Army.
Yeah, her favorite hitter, her favorite collegiate player is Bailey Hemphill, and she has a very good swing, just like Bailey. But she's gonna have to use it to make it be successful. That one froze her, that pitch down and away. We've seen that one bring up a bunch of hitters for both sides. And as a pitcher, when you recognize that pitch is being called, you need to wear it out. And right now, Van Zee doing a good job leading off this inning with that pitch down and away.
8 strikeouts for Raylan Van Zee. She has been terrific. Matches her 8 strikeouts that she had yesterday. Her dad, Coach Rocio, saying we're just going to ride Van Zee as long as we can, and it certainly has worked as they look for their 2nd win in pool play.
Man, that is nasty. That pitch down in the zone, as a hitter, you train yourself to stay off of it. But in this game, you know that it will be a strike. You have to make an adjustment. You have to be able to swing through that pitch. Raylan Van Zee now passing up her 91 pitch number from game 1. She threw 95 pitches in her 2nd game, so sitting right about her average. She'll throw more than that 95 in game 2, but they will ride her arm through this tournament.
Kaylee Hodges at the plate. Her parents responsible for making sure the magic grapes are in the dugout before the game. If they're supposed to eat before the game to make sure that their team plays well.
Yeah, and as our next crew comes in for the following week. We've got Chris Budden as our field reporter coming in. She asked Coach, can I get some magic grapes before the game too?
Hodges laces that one to right, and that drops in for a 1-out single.
Magic grapes coming through in a pinch on that one. And out there in right, Haven Hansen gets a good jump on it, but that ball continued to die. Matt?
Yeah, I'd like to order up a game-tying home run here. We're down 2, and that would be very helpful here. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Now that is a quality order.
What if she delivers? What if Cammie Walter delivers? Got a pinch runner here, and that is the speedy Jordan Jefferson.
Oh, Matt, Cammie Walters hit a home run this year. She knows how to do it, but right here, a home run would tie this one up.
Squaring. Oh, and Jefferson's got off, but it's a throw that goes around. She doesn't know where it is. They're screaming at her to get to second, and she does. Figgy, Coach Figgy at third saying, just listen, just go. Oh, that's a classic Little League moment, is it not?
I don't even know what to say. That caught me so off guard. I wanted to scream at her, run, because she just paused, completely stopped running.
Well, now that changes the at-bat, where you don't have to lay one down now.
No, and you don't want a big hitter like Cammie Walter to have to lay one down to advance the runner. With 1 out, they're in a perfect position right now to push a run across, and Coach Figgy over there not looking like it's fun. It's a little stressful over there in the third base coach's box right now.
If he's losing any hair, at least he's wearing a hat.
That's right.
Cammie Walter, tying run at the plate. That one is corralled by Richards at first. 2 away.
We saw Hodges with that single that squeaked into right. That one didn't have enough on it, and great base running kept Jefferson close to the bag. She read that well, but a runner in scoring position, and just 1 out left for this Virginia team to try to keep this one alive.
Savannah Wright looking for her first hit of the week. Virginia 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. They were 3 of 18 coming into today with runners in scoring position at 167. So a little better today, but have to come through here or at least get on base, or else they'll suffer their first loss in pool play. Virginia batters in their first 2 games, as the throw goes down to Jefferson. Veering off the base. First 2 games for Virginia, they struck out 10 times combined. Today they've struck out 8 times. Van Zee has certainly found the strike zone. And now a conversation.
And this one was brought in by Lexi Rosillo over there at shortstop. So a field general over there at the infield slot, kind of like another coach on the field. Her dad, the head coach for this Texas team, she steps in to calm everybody down, recognizing an opportunity to just roll a ground ball, get themselves out of the inning, and get the win to be able to stay.
Now what's Coach Figgy arguing here? About the count?
I'm not sure.
You can't read lips. I've been doing it all week.
Well, you're really good at it. Unfortunately, I'm still working on that talent.
1-1 count now to Savannah.
He's calling
Wright.
0-2.
Okay.
Matt, so that's probably, or 2-0, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, Figgy looked pleased with the count, so 2-0 does seem the right call. Savannah Wright on the corner now, 2-1.
And you mentioned that Wright's looking for her first hit here in the World Series, but she did draw 2 walks in the game yesterday. So she's found that she has a really good eye, but it's that down and out pitch that has been very tough for these Virginia hitters to get the bat off the shoulder for.
Savannah Wright did not have a hit in regionals either, so this would be a great time to do it. And she may have done it. That one gets down. Jefferson being held at third. And you can see Bill Figge with the fist pumps to Savannah Wright, who comes up with her first hit since the state tournament. What a great moment.
An amazing piece of hitting, and the communication that's been going back to the dugout is make sure you get your barrel off your shoulder for that down and away pitch. That fake throw by Robinson trying to draw Jefferson off of third. She doesn't fall for it. Runners on the corners, and Matt, the winning run is now at the plate.
Two outs. We still got a 2-run lead, okay? So that run there don't mean nothing, okay? Let's pound the strike zone. There, it's like number 7 hole, I think. So let's pound the strike zone. Let's make this girl beat us right here, okay? You pound the strike zone. Defense got us, okay? Y'all want to get her? She goes. Y'all want to leave her alone?
Pump fake or maybe hard fake.
Hard fake. Let's look, okay? Yes. Hard fake, and see. Hard fake, check. White.
So a couple things going on in that conversation, including what are we going to do with the runner when she goes. He almost gave Mathis the option. What do you want to do here?
I like that he said that, but my guess is he was going to say, let's make sure we play this straight. I would have been okay with a throw down to third, but I like the pump fake and look, see if the runner over there at third, Jefferson, will fall for that fake over to second, draw her off, and get the tag and the out to end the game.
Well, you saw with Jefferson, who's was off the base and people screaming, she gets to second, and when she got to third, Figge pointing to the base almost 3 inches from his finger, saying stay right here. So I'm sure he's going to be in her ear at third. And you heard Coach Rosillo saying, I think we have the 7-hole hitter. It's actually the 8-hole hitter here. Hard fake. Jefferson doesn't bite, and now the tying run is 120 feet away.
And Jefferson with a really good read at third base, stayed even with the third baseman. That's the one that would get the throw and need to make the tag, so she did a great job of base running and now 60 feet away.
Aaliyah Myers. Ground ball, second base. Young up with it. And that is out number 3 and win number 2 for Texas.
Banzi in the circle did a great job of just filling the bottom of the zone, able to come away with 8 strikeouts in this one. This Texas team has figured things out. After that original loss to Missouri in their opener, beat New York yesterday and comes away with their second win here today.
9 runs in their 3 games so far, enough to improve to 2-1 in pool play. Coming up 7 Eastern, it's more World Series pool play. The top 2 teams go head-to-head, Oklahoma and Nevada. All games airing on the ESPN Network, streaming live, archived on the app. One tap. This has been a presentation of ESPN.